welcome to another RSR. Tonight we are predicting and previewing the 2022 MLS Cup Final, LAFC versus Philadelphia Union, 3 p.m. tomorrow. Going to be a damn good match, but it's a 1 versus 1 for the first time since Kansas City Wizards and Chicago Fire back in the early 2000s. When that happened, I was still a toddler, damn. Long time, hadn't it been? 20 years, 19 years. It's been a long time since a 1 versus 1 in the MLS Cup Final has happened. But it's happened again. The Supporters Shield champion LAFC versus the first in the East, Philadelphia Union, meant both teams only played 2 matches to get here. Philadelphia Union played a 1-0 victory over FC Cincinnati in the conference quarterfinals, or the conference semifinals, to the quarterfinals overall, to move on to the conference final, semifinals. And then they beat NYCFC 3-1 at home in the conference final to go to the MLS Cup. A very tough win against Cincy, a very dominant win. By the scoreline, yes. By the overall performance, they turned on and had a dominant 30 minutes, but still dominant scoreline for Philly. But some fights, some scruffs to get to the final. Then LAFC against LA Galaxy, El Tráfico Conference semi 3-2 over LA Galaxy. Then a 3-0 win over Austin, super dominant. Austin seemed like they were happy to be there, and they were okay with house money at that point, and LAFC made them pay. With that being said, both teams had the easier route to the final. I wouldn't say easier, but the quicker route. That's a better word. Because of being top of their conference. Of course, LAFC won the Supporters Shield because they won 2 more matches this year than Philly did. They both have the equal number of points in the table. Of course, wins is a tiebreaker. And MLS, because parity, I guess. It's not goal differentials, the first tiebreaker. It's points. Yeah, I don't know either, but they chose that, so it is what it is. With that being said, 2 great teams facing each other in the final. A lot of great players on both sides. Philly, of course, has a lot of players that should have been in the best 11, besides some players who were in the best 11. The goalkeeper of the year, Andre Blake, of course. Kai Wagner, one of the best left back in the league, and one of the best outside backs in the league. Defensive-wise, Philly's got a great defensive side of the ball, great defensive line, great goalkeeper. Jakob Glesnes, Jack Elliott, they both should have been best 11. At least Glesnes made it. I think Elliott didn't. Glesnes did, yes. But they both should have been best 11 because they're that damn good. And also that MLS Cup combined 11, really? Chiellini over Elliott? Really? Like, I root for the Azzurri. Forza Italia and all that, but really? Giorgio Chiellini? Better than Jack Elliott? Yeah, no, that was stupid. I don't get it. Like, Chiellini hasn't really done much anyway since he came over. He's done more than Gareth Bale, but he still ain't done much. Hell, I'm surprised Austin didn't make him pay for starting. Because I thought Austin's front line with Driussi and all that would have been a team that could have made Chiellini pay for his slowness and his age, but wasn't meant to be. I think Philly could do the same, though. Again, midfield-wise, Daniel Gazdag going to Europe after CCL probably next summer, I would say. Very likely Daniel Gazdag goes to Europe next summer. Kai Wagner's going to Europe after this season's over. Paxton Aronson's going to Europe for Eintracht Frankfurt. He played, but he wasn't as prolific as his brother when he moved over. Okay. Cool. That just came out today, too. Frontline, Mikhail Ura hasn't really been the great signing they expected him to be, but he's had his moments. Julian Carranza for Philadelphia So much better than he was at Philly. And he's staying with, or Miami, I should say. Miami, but he's staying at Philly. My bad. But Carranza played for Miami, wasn't great. Came over to Philly, has been awesome. Should have been sent off during the Eastern Conference Final. Stick with that, but he's not. He's playing. There you go. That front line for Philly, damn good. With Gazdag, that front line, pretty good. El Brujo Martinez, still great. Philly's a team of stars that aren't regarded as stars. If you look at that team, they are a team full of, the team is the star, but they're all star caliber, which is exactly why they're so good. The team is the star mentality with the way Philly's built, with the talent they have, makes their system perfect under Jim Curtin. Also, a great manager, but not manager of the year. Come on. No. That was Wilfred Nancy, but Jim Curtin's still a great manager. Did a lot to get Philly to the top of the East. But manager of the year. Wilfred Nancy, but okay. We won't go there. We won't talk about awards because that's by the by. LAFC, on the other hand, the way they play, they got some stars. Denis Bouanga, a late arriver in the summer, but damn good player, Denis Bouanga. Better than Tello, better than Bale. Didn't really expect that at all, but here we are. Carlos Vela back to his old self. The front line of LAFC is firing right now. Chicho Arango, one of the best strikers in the league, could definitely go to Europe or Liga MX if he chose, but probably Europe. When the season's over, if he so wants to. Kwadwo Opoku was a great sub-in forward. The CCL hero from 2020 is more than just that, but we will hammer that over the head till it's absolutely done. With that being said, so much more than a hero now. He's actually a damn good player. That midfield, Ilie Sanchez, a great replacement for Eduardo Atuesta. Honestly, might be better than Eduardo Atuesta. Kellen Acosta playing well with LAFC. That back four. The defense, pretty good. Maxime Crépeau, amazing goalkeeper. I'm shocked he wasn't in the goalkeeper of the year voting over Drake Callender. If it wasn't Ivicic, it should have been Crépeau, but in the top three, but okay. All right. I'm biased, maybe, because he's a Canadian keeper. Maybe I'm biased, but he's as good as he always has been. He's just over more because he's playing for actual good team instead of Vancouver. He knew he had to make that move, and he said it himself pretty much. I don't blame him at all. But Crépeau's still great. He's amazing. That doesn't shock me. Shocked a lot of people, but don't shock me. With that being said, LAFC under Steve Cherundolo, they're actually starting to get more likable. Turns out Bobby Bacala was the reason I hated LAFC. I'm not shocked, but, I didn't like Bobby Bacala back then. I gave him a shot for a couple of months, and now I still don't like him. With that being said, Cherundolo is a wonderful manager for LAFC. That team loves playing for him. And Mark DeSantos as an assistant. That team loves playing for that coaching staff for sure. It's a lot more loose and a lot more fun to watch and a lot more enjoyable and a lot more likable with LAFC for sure. Philly, of course, great coach, great team. For me, it's the battle of the wills, right? If Andre Blake makes a lot of saves and that defense stays tight for Philly, they win this match. If Philly plays like they did the first 60 minutes against New York or that game against FC Cincinnati, they're going to lose to LAFC. Because they'll get basically Austined, frankly. But for me, I think Philly's going to be way up for this one. I think they're going to be ready. This will be their best game in the playoffs. Will that be enough? You'll find out. But for me, LAFC, they've played well, but they can be beatable. We've seen that. They're beatable. They're hotter right now, but they're still beatable. But Philly needs to play their best. But I think they do. I think Philly's defense is amazing in this game. I think they'll be locked down. I think Andre Blake will probably be MLS Cup MVP. I mean, if Philly wins, most likely he is. But he's going to put in that performance. The midfield will be very good. They'll play very well. Flock, El Brujo, Gazdag, front two of Ura and Carranza. They'll play very well as well. Philly, I think I'm not saying they're the favorite, but I think, to me, I think they slightly have the better chance. Money line wise, they're probably not the favorite. I don't think they are. It doesn't sound like people are harping on them as a favorite. But me, from what I've seen throughout this season, what I've seen throughout the playoffs, well, what I've seen throughout the playoffs probably would have thrown me off. But throughout the season, in the run-in, the last couple of months, I still think over the body of work, Philly has been better than LAFC's body of work. Now, in the playoffs, that is sort of switched, but LAFC was beatable that first game. That second game, Philly's games have been pedestrian, but they've done enough. And they have that resilience, which is exactly why I think Philly is going to win, because they're going to need that resiliency and that defense to play their best, frankly. And right now, I got Philly winning. I got Philly winning 3-2 after extra time. It could easily go to penalties, but this final will be just as good as last year's. It should be very enjoyable. But for me, I got Philly. I got Philly. I think Philly wins 3-2. Because LAFC is going to score. Even if your defense is perfect, they're still going to score. It's very hard to keep them off the score sheet. But I think Philly does enough, just like they did against NYCFC. Could it be a quick hitter moment where they get those 3 goals or get a couple of those goals to take the lead? Maybe. Or is it a situation where they have a quick hitter, they tie it up, go to extra time, then score something in the first half and hold on? I could see that as well, and I think that's a very likely situation. But for me, I think Philly is going to edge it. I really do. I think Philly's going to edge this game. I think they're going to win the MLS Cup. It's going to be a very interesting night and a very interesting afternoon and match to see. But I can't wait to see it. It's going to be fun. And I hope it's enjoyable. I hope it's a great way to end the season, because after that, we're between MLS Cup and the World Cup break. But this is the last club match of the season, of the year. And it's been a long run, been a roller coaster ride. But we keep pushing, and I say Philly wins the MLS Cup. So there you go. So with that being said, if you like this video, like it, share, subscribe. You know what it is. Tell your friends. Hit that like button. Hit that subscribe button. Hit that bell notification once subscribed. Send super chats on the live streams. Comment on this video. Put this in playlist. Share with friends and family. All that great stuff. I will see you tomorrow for a live watch along and review of the 2022 MLS Cup Final. I'll see you then. I'm Ryan and I'm out. Peace. Good luck to both teams. May the odds be ever in your favor. Let's have some fun. Peace.